What changes are on the horizon for global logistics and what technologies are already reshaping the industry? How will AI handle critical tasks and streamline freight management? We'll dive into all of this today. My name is Sophia and I'm working in logistics. I'm here to share insights into what's happening now and what's coming next. Get ready. It's going to be interesting. Let's start at the very beginning. Logistics actually dates back to the first human civilizations where people realized they needed to move goods for survival. In ancient Egypt, around 3300 BC, they developed storage techniques and transport methods to keep a steady supply of food and essential items. And later, the Roman Empire took it to another level with their famous roads and maritime routes. Back then, transportation was slowly, expensive, and risky. The Silk Road, for example, connected Europe to Asia from the 2nd century BC until the mid-15th century, but it could take months or even years for goods to make the full journey. As logistics evolved, there were a few pivotal stages that changed everything. The Industrial Revolution in the 18th century introduced machinery, railways, and steamships, transforming how quickly and efficiently goods could move. Over the centuries, logistics continued to adapt with new transportation methods that made moving goods easier, faster, and more reliable. But in the 1930s, an American named Malcolm McLean came up with an idea that would transform logistics forever: the shipping container. His concept was simple but groundbreaking: create a standardized metal box that could be loaded and unloaded quickly and used across different modes of transport. However, the idea wasn't used until 1960 when containers started becoming popular. Why did it take so long for container to be accepted? Well, the transportation industry was quite conservative. Many companies didn't want to change their usual ways of working, and it was expensive and complicated to update ports, ships, and trucks for this new system. In short, the industry was slow to use containers because it meant completely changing how they operated. The Vietnam War played a big role in the spread of container use. The US military needed to move supplies quickly and efficiently, and containers were the perfect solution. They could be packed in the US, shipped overseas, and unloaded easily in Vietnam. After this success, transportation systems were updated to work with standardized containers. Trucks, ports, and terminals were redesigned, and shipping companies started using container-specific equipment. This change was a huge improvement. A single ship, which once carried 500 separate crates, could now hold up to 24,000 containers. As infrastructure adapted, shipping became faster, cheaper, and more efficient. MRP systems were created to help manufacturers manage inventory and production schedules more efficiently, ensuring materials were available when needed. Over time, these systems evolved into ERP systems by the 1990s, expanding their capabilities to include financial management, human resources, and supply chain operations. Early ERP systems offered an integrated solution for businesses but had significant drawbacks. They were costly to implement, hard to customize, and often struggled to integrate with external technologies. This disconnection made it hard to scale and unify operation, reducing collaboration between departments. In the 1960s and 1970s, communication technologies made big progress. Telephones became common, and telegraph and radio communications were developed. These changes made it easier to share information over long distances, helping logistics companies work together better. Later, the internet changed everything again. It made communication even faster and allowed logistics companies to make decisions quickly and coordinate better. By the early 1990s, email, and the other online tools made it easy for companies to track shipment, talk to partners in different places, and coordinate in real time. As global trade grew, and logistics became more complicated, companies needed systems that could work together. They wanted tools to automate tasks like planning routes, managing inventory, and handling financial transactions. The combination of MRP systems and new communication technologies led to the creation of transportation management systems and CRM systems. I hope you know what this. These tools helped automate the movement of goods, customer data, and financial info. However, these systems face problems because of technology limits and different logistics rules in different regions, which made global trade less efficient. Why does all this history matter? Well, it's like they say, understanding the past can help us shape the future. In that sense, the frameworks of ERP and TMS systems set the stage for a new era of data-driven logistics powered by interconnection devices and intelligent algorithms. Today, smart containers and IoT technologies are taking logistics to the next level. These containers can track their location and monitor conditions like temperature and humidity, door opening, or impacts. The real-time data goes into a central system, so logistic managers always know what's happening. The benefits include fewer losses, better transparency, and smarter decisions. However, smart containers have challenges. They can be expensive to implement. Also, connecting these systems to existing infrastructure can be tricky and costly, plus there are still issues with connectivity, like battery failures or signal loss at sea. Next, we have smart warehouses, high-tech hubs that use AI, robotics, and advanced storage systems like Boxbay. Boxbay, for instance, stacks containers vertically and uses automated cranes to retrieve them quickly, saving both time and space. The benefits are obvious: quicker operation, lower labor cost, and more accuracy. But like with any technology, setting up and maintaining smart warehouses can be expensive, especially for smaller businesses. In today's logistics landscape, one thing stands out above all else: data. Every shipment, every route, and every container generates vast amount of information. But raw data alone doesn't solve problems. It's what we do with it that matter. That's where big data comes into play, transforming logistics into a smarter, more efficient ecosystem. Big data in logistics come from everywhere: sensors in smart containers, IoT devices in warehouses, GPS systems, cameras in ports and warehouses, which use computer vision to detect damaged cargo or monitor loading operations. Even natural language processing, NLP, helps in logistics by automatically handling documents and communication. All this data isn't just collected for the sake of it, it's analyzed and put to work. Machine learning, for example, sifts through historical data to identify patterns, predict demands, and prevent bottlenecks. Reinforcement learning goes a step further, using trial and error for dynamically optimized routes or schedule in real time. Imagine a truck rerouting automatically to avoid a traffic jam, or a port allocating cranes more efficiently based on predicted cargo flow. These are the result of big data and AI working together. Let's call it AGI, artificial general intelligence, or collective intelligence. But data isn't just about optimizing, that's also about trust, which logistics needs. Enter blockchain, which ensure that every transaction in this supply is secure, transparent, and tamper-proof. Smart contracts, powered by blockchain, take this a step further by automating processes like payments, custom clearance, and compliance checks. For example, a smart container could release a payment the moment shipment arrives at its destination, no paperwork needed. This reduces errors, speed up transactions, and builds trust between parties. Big data isn't just a buzzword, it's the backbone of modern logistics, and it enables real-time decision-making, enhances transparency, and creates a more responsive supply chain. Whether it's predicting demand, optimizing routes, or building trust with blockchain, big data is what turns logistics into a finely tuned machine. And as the system evolves, the collaboration between AI, IoT, and digital assets will only grow stronger, paving the way for a truly connected global trade network. Despite technological advancements, logistics still faces significant challenges. In the fast-paced world, logistic fragmentation remains one of the biggest challenges. Systems that don't talk to each other, APIs that create barriers instead of bridges, and siloed data disrupt the flow of goods and information. The bullwhip effect, where small demand changes ripple into inefficiencies across the supply chain, remain a persistent issue. Automation, while growing, hasn't eliminated errors caused by human oversight or miscommunication. This is where Max Model comes in. It's a cloud multimodal network ready to unify fragmented systems. Max Model connects shippers, carriers, freight forwarders, and terminals in one seamless network. It automates tasks like freight management, client matching, and route optimization all in real time. With Max Model, processes that once took days are completed in seconds. It reduces costs, improves efficiency, and brings transparency to the supply chain, making it a game changer for modern logistics. What's more about the technologies? AI is already making waves in logistics. Imagine warehouses worker uses AR glasses to instantly view stocks level, expiration dates, or shipping details just by looking at the package. This blend of physical and digital worlds reduce errors, improve efficiency, and speed up separation. VR, on the other hand, is transforming training and operational planning. Companies can simulate entire supply chain in a virtual environment, testing strategies and optimizing workflows without real-world risks. Employees can also gain hands-on experience through immersive VR training, preparing them for complex tasks before they even step onto the floor. Or digital twins take AR and VR a step further. These virtual replicas of real-world assets, port, warehouses, or even entire fleets allow companies to simulate, monitor, and optimize operations in real time. For example, a digital twin of a port can predict bottlenecks, suggest crane allocations, or adjust loading schedule dynamically. By continuously comparing real-world data with its digital counterparts, businesses can make smarter, faster decisions. So what will logistics look like in 10 years? With technologies like Max Model, AR, VR, digital twins, and, for example, Hyperloop can revolutionize freight transport. This high-speed, low-emission transport system could move goods between cities in a fraction of the time, reducing costs and environmental impact. Imagine a shipment from Paris to London for 30 minutes. Actually, there will be just autonomous assets such as self-driven trucks, vessels, and locomotives, which are reshaping the logistics landscape. AI-powered trucks are already being tested on roads, operating without drivers, and using advanced sensors, machine learning algorithms, and real-time data to navigate safely and efficiently. I love this word. In the next decade, logistics will shift from a fragmented, labor-intensive process to an integrated, seamless network that balances efficiency, sustainability, and transparency. This transformation will be powered by the fusion of real-world assets and digital intelligence, creating a synchronized global system like never before. Imagine a supply chain where every element ships, terminals, warehouses, and vehicles communicates in real time. Containers equipment with agile recognition software at ports will allow cargo to be instantly identified, tracked, and processed, eliminating delays caused by manual handling. Methanol-powered ships will reduce carbon emissions without sacrificing capacity or speed. Warehouses will become dynamic hubs without intelligent storage systems that adapt to demand, using every square meter for space efficiently. AGI-driven system will ensure that goods flow smoothly from manufacturing to final delivery, creating a truly seamless logistics network. Globally, supply chains will synchronize into a unified network, replacing isolated operations. This optimization will not only focus on speed and cost, but also on sustainability, with AI systems minimizing empty halls, growing as efficiently, and enabling circular supply chains that drastically reduce waste. As this innovation grows, new jobs will be created. Let's speculate a bit. Drone traffic controllers will manage fleets of delivery drones flying in cities. Or digital twin engineers will oversee virtual models of logistics systems to improve real-world efficiency. Sustainability planners will create strategies to reach environmental goals, while specialists in blockchain and AI ethics will ensure these technologies are used responsibly. The future logistics will be seamless, efficient, and interconnected, where physical and digital systems work together to balance speed, cost, and environmental impact. In just a decade, we might not ask if a package will arrive in time, but how much smarter, cleaner, or faster it can be delivered. However, the fast adoption of advanced technologies also raises challenges beyond cost and technical issues, including ethical and operational questions that could change the industry in unexpected ways. The growing dependence on AI, IoT, and automation raises concerns about what happens if the system fails. A cyber attack on blockchain systems or IoT networks could paralyze supply chains, creating ripple effects across the global economy. Even smaller disruption, like software glitches or server outages, could cause delays that take weeks to recover from. While new technologies create opportunities for skilled professionals, they also pose a threat to traditional logistics jobs. Autonomous vehicles, robotic warehouses, and automated ports may reduce the need for drivers, dock walkers, and warehouse staff. The questions remain. Will the new job in AI management and sustainability be more than the lost jobs? And who will take the responsibility for training employees? AI system makes decisions based on algorithms, but those algorithms aren't immune to error. In logistics, a poorly designed AI could prioritize cost savings over environmental impact or speed over safety. Ensuring that AI systems align with ethical guidelines will be a critical challenge for the industry. The massive amount of data generated by smart containers, IoT devices, and digital twins could become a double-edged sword. While this data enables efficiency, it also creates vulnerabilities. Sensitive information about trade routes, cargo contents, and transaction details can become target for hackers. The industry will need robust cybersecurity measures to protect this data. The high costs associated with implementing these advanced technologies may leave smaller logistics companies at a disadvantage. If large corporations dominate the market with cutting-edge systems, smaller operations risk being left behind, widening the gap between industry leaders and smaller players. At Max Model, we understand this challenge. That's why our multimodal network is built to grow with your business, making it affordable for companies of all sizes. Whether you are a small logistics provider or a big company, Max Model helps make logistics easier and more efficient without the high costs. While technologies like methanol-powered ships and optimized routes promise sustainability, the production and disposal of high-tech equipment like IoT devices, air glasses, and batteries for drones could introduce new environmental concerns. Balancing these trade-offs will be essential to ensure that progress doesn't come at the expense of the planet. The logistic industry works across different countries, so new technologies have to follow a mix of rules from each place. Autonomous vehicles, drones, and Hyperloop system might take longer to be adopted because of different regulation or government being cautious about too much change. Undoubtedly, technologies are changing logistics and making it more convenient. If you want to find a reliable rate and deliver your cargo anywhere in the world, visit Max Model and dive into the future today. The link in the description. Hit like, subscribe to the channel, and watch the next video, which has appeared on the screen. It will be useful for anyone connected to logistics in any way. Enjoy watching!